Hello everyone, this is Solo Therapy. I'm Karen and welcome back. I'm sorry I wasn't able to post this week. There was a lot going on. But today I wanted to talk about losing a parent. Everyone, when they lose a family member, someone is like, hey, I just lost someone. The first initial thing they say is, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for you. Let's change that, because why are you sorry for them? You don't know their relationship they had with that person. You don't know if they feel sorry about it. What is sorry? The strangers didn't do anything to you, so I don't know where the sorry comes from. So when people are like, I'm sorry for you, did you, have my father pass away? Did you do that to him? Because why are you sorry? And that's a feeling that unless you lose someone, you will not understand. And since it happened to me, I won't say I'm so sorry. I recently, if I were to come across someone that has told me that they've lost someone, I would be like, wow, how are you feeling right now? Is there anything I can do? What were some things that you want to talk about that person? Their presence should be with us forever. So I think it's better if people talk about that person than rather it be sorry, because they're not actually sorry for you. It's just what people say. It's like, hey, how are you? And you have to say you're okay. You have to say you're fine. If you're like, oh, I'm in the trenches right now, strangers don't care about your life that way. So if you actually care about someone, if it's your friend, your partner, a family member, if you're talking to one of those three people that have lost someone, don't say you're sorry for them. You didn't do anything wrong. Just be there for them. Ask them, hey, do you want to do a fun activity this weekend? And drag them out of the house. Do something that makes them feel happy. That's my one advice. But then diving into my situation is that I've always had a very rocky but interesting relationship with both of my parents. I'll make a separate video about my mother, because she is a figure more like my sibling more than a parent figure. In a good and bad way. But we'll dive into that in another video. My parents were separated since I was a little child, so my memory of my childhood is not waking up to both parents and eating breakfast and then dinner, And that's okay. Every single family is different, so when I would, go to school in middle school or high school and see people go home and do these family stuff, I'd be like, wow, is my family not normal, because I am an only child. I don't have siblings, so I would just kind of be in my own world always. And I'm very artistic and I'm very spiritual in a way where I can connect to another spiritual sense. If you understand, if you're spiritual viewers out there, you know what I'm talking about. When you really close your eyes and when you try to get into, your soul and then how it ties into other stuff. It literally can be about food. It can be about art, music, painting, fashion, reading, movies, anything you like. If you tap into your spirituality, into specific themes like that, you can totally relate. But only if you are spiritual. I feel like if you don't believe things like that, you won't understand what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is that I've always been that kind of person where I can create my own world by closing my eyes and wherever I want to. And I think I had to learn that along the way in life because, my parents weren't always there. They were working all the time. I'm an only child once again. So I didn't really know how to sit down and talk to my parents, especially my dad, because he didn't really put himself in front of me, and I wish he did more. I think he felt bad about just like how this situation unfolds. You know, divorced parents, it's never like an easy like thing, and I have so much grace and admiration for my parents. They're both individually very, very spectacular people, but the way that my father's life had to end, and me finding out, and the way that I was involved, you know, or wasn't involved in his life in that sense, was very disappointing in my mind. So basically, he's been sick. His last 2 years before he passed away was very sick, you know, diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I would visit him at the hospital anytime I could. I was in college at the time, so I would have school throughout the day and then go to the hospital. It's really interesting how God puts you in situations where you need to be. For example, I was going to college in Pennsylvania for my first 2 years, and then I transferred to a college in California where my father lives. Not because of my father's illness. I didn't even know at the time. But in my brain, I was like, I want to move back home. I want to be with my dad. I want to spend time with him. Subconsciously, in my brain, somewhere in my brain was telling me that. So I move. I spend every week with him. Either I was getting dinner with him, he made me dinner, you know, I would go to his house and we would just talk. This was not us for 20 years. I was 20 at this time. For 20 years, we did not have a relationship like that where I just talked to him and spend time with him. We would do like father-daughter stuff once in a while, but it was not consistent in this way. He moves to Japan, I want to say 10 months before he passes away. He tells me 6 months before he passes away, hey, like, I only have 6 months to live. That's what my doctor told me. In my brain, so many things go through my brain that I wasn't able to express at the time. I didn't think it was real. I didn't know how to tell him how it made me feel. And then I went home to my mom's place. I stopped hearing from him for a full 6 months. In my mind, I'm like, my dad has passed away at this point. In my mind, right? It's around New Year's at this time. I don't know where my dad is. Everyone on my dad's side of the family refuses to contact me or respond to me. So in my mind, I'm like, wow, I'm just like really hated. Did I do something wrong? I start thinking of every single interaction I've had with him and if I was my true self to him. And no, I was not. So internally, there's like this feeling of guilt. There's like this feeling of anger and just all around sadness that I wasn't able to be who I was around him. I didn't get to tell him how I'm spiritual. I didn't get to tell my dad how I love art and music and connection, how I really enjoyed our camping trips and how I wanted to go on more. Couldn't tell him that. While I'm thinking all this stuff, my dad gets remarried, changes his last name, and leaves everything to his new family and people that are just not connected by blood at all. So technically, they're strangers. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I didn't get money or inheritance from him. In my mind, I'm like, I don't even have a sweatshirt of him. I don't remember what he smells like. I don't have his favorite book. I wish he left a recipe, something that reminds me of him. I don't have anything of him. And that's the part that makes me, feel like I just don't know. It's like a gray it's like a gray area in my brain where I can't articulate what that feeling is. So if anyone out there is going through grief of a family member or having a hard, relationship with their parents where they can't express who they are, and talking about who they are is like not about, sexuality, because I feel like a lot of people really identify their like sexuality with like who they are. But for me, who you are is what you like to do in your free time, how you think, how your mind works, how your brain is wired, how do you talk to people, how do you interact with people, what are some qualities that you like about people, what are some qualities that you like about a certain career, a certain passion that you have, and how does that make you feel? What do you want to do in your life? How do you want to impact people? What do you want to share? What love do you want to give? What do you want to teach other people? What do you want to learn from people? For me, connection and learning and growing as a person is something that I really, really value in life. And I wish I got to tell him that more. I wish I got to come out of my shell and stop only talking about careers and like surface level stuff, because that's easy to talk about. What's not easy to talk about is when you can connect with someone on an identity level, So if anyone is out there, if you have time, or even if you don't have time, tell your family members all the stuff that I just said, the topics I just talked about, and see how they look at you, see how they connect with you. I hope everyone has a blessed day. Someone is getting married or proposing next to me. That's so cute. Everyone keeps spreading love, and every second you get, I hope you say I love you to something. It can be a flower or a plant, your dog, of course your loved ones and your family members. Tell them you love them, and do what you want to do. Do what fulfills you.